Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Victoria Skirbo speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. So today is the 27th of March. It has been 5 days since the Mueller Investigation report has dropped, and it's been 3 days since the Barr summary. And yeah, so I thought what I would do is I would look at the Republicans and the Democrats and the way forward for them, insight onto them. So we'll do the Republicans first, because it seems like, at least preliminarily, they won, if you want to do win-loss. Which, kind of makes sense because they hold most of the power cards, right? But let's see. Okay, the immediate environment for the Republicans. Okay, so we have the messenger. So this is a message. There's a message coming. This could be on a certain respect, good news, right, for the Republicans. So this was good news for them. Okay, let's see what's crossing that. The Two of Wands. So there's good news, but there still is connection to places far away. So they have good news, but there's still the issue of we can't call it collusion, but we could call it interaction, communication, business dealings with, we'll say Russia, right? Because let's be honest. Let's not beat around the bush here. Now, is that their connections to Russia, or is it Trump's connection to Russia, or a combination thereof, right? See what's at the bottom of the reading. Okay, we have the quest card, the Knight of Wands. This is somebody on a quest. They're wanting to move forward from this. They are rearing up and they're like, this is done, let's move forward. Let's see what's in the past. Okay, a lot of tumultuousness, a lot of infighting. So there was a lot of chaos, a lot of fighting in the past. Let's see what's in the sky for the Republicans. Okay, we get the Sword of Truth. So that's over their head. Is it the Sword of Damocles? Perhaps. See what's in the immediate future. This card comes up all the time, the Empress. And so I'm going to read it in the newest way that it's come to me, is that there's things that are developing. There are things that are growing and developing. Now, what is that? I'm not sure. But over the next 6 weeks, there's developments. How this is seen from the outside. Self-satisfied, smug, Trumpster. That's Trump right there with his MAGA hat on. So it's a victory for the Trumpster. That's how it's seen from the outside. Let's see the domestic situation for the Republicans. Okay, we have the Angel of Balance and Temperance. I think there will be an attempt to temper. This is a card of healing. So some healing has occurred for them. Hopes and fears. Probably hope, right? This is a nice card. Continued success. Hope for continued success. And the outcome, this is a year out. Obfuscation. Continued illusions, delusions. Nothing is clear. They will continue to obfuscate. Let's see if we can pull a major arcana. So this is a continuation of obfuscating their connection to the darkness, to greed, to avarice, to the money, to, yeah. You know, it's funny, I was reading in one of my tarot books, I believe it was Rachel Pollack's book, 78 Degrees of Wisdom, one of my favorite tarot books. So if you're looking for a good book to read, she's amazing. 78 Degrees of Wisdom, Rachel Pollack. She was saying that the devil is the shadow of God. And quite frankly, the Republicans have sold their soul. So, is that going to benefit them, or is that going to be a bad thing? We would think it would be a bad thing, right? And yet they're successful on the physical plane. You know, I saw it with Cheney too. And what was it? Cheney and Pearl and Rumsfeld. And of course, Bush was the fool. They were the puppet masters behind the throne. And there was one other person. Was it Wolfowitz, I think? I called them the four horsemen of the apocalypse. And that energy continues with the Republicans. It continues with the Republicans. We had a little respite with Obama, but the dynamics of power didn't change. In fact, it strikes me that the dynamics of power hasn't changed in 40 years. I was young. I was a teenager. Well, how old would I have been? 12 or 13, I think, during Watergate. And I remember, them getting rid of Nixon. And at that time, the reason Nixon left was because the Republicans at that time had some dignity or had some sense of right and wrong. And then, interestingly enough, after that, we had a very nice man as president, kind of like, in a way, like Obama, a nice guy. And then we had Reagan. And Reagan was really the beginning of the end, in a way, for what we see or thought of as democracy. Now, this is my own theory, so they wove a web of deception. He had a very prominent Neptune. It was a very Neptunian time. And it was also the time, shortly thereafter, that Pluto and Saturn made their conjunction, 1982. Actually, Bush was president at that time, I believe. A big Bush. And that was the start of a cycle of power. That cycle is ending and beginning again at the beginning of 2020. So it's important that we go in to 2020 and the election and what we're building at that time.
But it'll also,
I'm sorry. What we're building at that time with our eyes wide open. Okay, so that was the Republicans. Now I want to look at the Democrats. And I'm going to use the Tower of the Spirit for them. Because on a certain level I feel, and this is me, I feel that they're being called for a spiritual, their spiritual warrior nature needs to come out. That's what I think. Of course, our spiritual nature, warrior, needs to come out. So if we expect the Democrats to do it, we have to be willing to do it ourselves, right? Because that's where the power is with the people. All this smoke and mirrors and bullshit, they want us to think we don't have power. And we do. Okay. So this is a reading for the Democrats. Where they're at, their next step, kind of the same deal. Okay, the immediate environment for the Democrats. Okay, we have the Ten of Swords. It's called the Way of the Cross. This is a card of suffering. It's a card of endings. There's been, this is the guy laying on the ground with the 10 swords in their back. And so there's an ending here. And yet behind the guy with the 10 swords is a new, is the dawn is rising. So this says to me that the old ways of doing things that the Democrats have done is over. And it's time for a new way of doing things. A new way of taking action. The swords are about action. A new way of thinking, okay, because the swords are also mental vibration. Let's see the crossing card. The Three of Pentacles. In this situation, I feel like this is the moneyed interests that support the Democrats. That's what it feels like to me. Because it's a challenge card. If it was in a different position, I might say that they have to work really hard. But because of where it sits in the chart as the challenge to the end. Okay, so if they have to get rid of the money, okay, the money interests here. And they also have to work really hard. So this is about really sort of coming together and digging down deep and working really hard. Which I think they're ready to do because they're tired of just sitting up on the sidelines and getting pummeled. Who the hell wants to get pummeled? At the root here is many voices, many voices. So there's a lot of diversity in the Democrats. There's a lot of voices. They have to come up with a sort of a single pointed strategy that includes the voices. And this is not, and they have to avoid bickering among themselves. They have to stop attacking each other, which is going to be interesting because there's 17 people running for president for the Democratic nomination. So what are the chances of them attacking themselves? So in a way, they have the power to either destroy themselves or to actually come together as a cohesive force. But as it stands now, I would say they're not particularly cohesive. They need to come together for that. Let's see the past. Okay, we have the Three of Cups. I think this was past victories. I think this might have been Obama. There was a sense of and there was a healing with Obama coming in as president. And he was a decent guy. And he wasn't a dirty trickster, which is probably why we have Trump now. Or he was also a darling of the Wall Street, and he got them off. That was Obama. That's what they got him in for, and that's what he did. Beyond that, he did do a lot of good things, but he did his job when he got in, right? Challenge card. Okay. Up in the sky. Okay, we have some clarity. Well, that's good, because this is at the bottom of it, and this is at the top. And so it's the sky card is a number of things. It's the energy available to them if they want to reach up and get it. And it's also a suggestion by spirit. Get your shit together, folks. We need a common, cohesive idea. This card in the tarot, this card in the Kabbalah, the Six of Swords, is in Tippereth, which is about the group orientation. It's also about the heart chakra, but it's a 6 vibration, it's a 60/6 vibration, and so it's about community. You have to serve the community. You have to serve the people. Let's see the immediate future. 6 weeks. Okay, we have the High Priestess. So this is, I believe this is going to be uncovering secrets. So this is a process of uncovering some of the secrets that are being held. This could very well be the Mueller investigation and working towards getting it out in the open. How it's seen from the outside. Yeah, sorrow. A lot A lot of pain, a lot of sorrow, a lot of dissatisfaction, a lot of despair. There's a lot of despair. People are very upset. Domestic situation. Okay. Finding vision over the illusion. Looking past the illusion. Looking past the upsetment. The all-seeing eye. Hopes and fears. The Six of Pentacles. This is a balanced not retribution really. The balancing of the scales. So they're hoping that things come into harmony. This is a card of harmony. Yeah, I would say we all would like that, quite frankly, Democrat or Republican. Let's see the outcome. Okay, we got the Ace of Swords. This is the Sword of Justice. The Ace of Wind here is called the Dawn. And so we have the darkness and we have the light. So this is very optimistic, quite frankly. A year out, the light will begin to shine. We are moving through the darkness right now. Let's see if we can pull a major arcana. Get the Three of Swords. Then the Emperor. Dominion. The light gets shown on the person in charge. And then perhaps they can take charge. Okay, well. Get your shit together, Democrats. If you do it, focus, think about who you're here for, and do your due diligence. It looks good. It looks good. Whereas the Republicans, the last card was the Devil. There's a sense of being prisoner of the dark. The Emperor card is actually a 4 vibration, and next year, 2020, we're going to move into a 4 vibration. So that's good. It's about crisis, but it's about building foundations, and that's what the Democrats have to do. Okay, great. I hope you enjoyed that reading. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.